Wrestling history is packed with a lot of stables, some better than others. We know the big ones, the Four Horsemen, the NWO, DX, the Authority, and many more. We also know the bad ones, like the Dungeon of Doom or TNA's seemingly endless batch of the NWO knockoffs. It's always notable where their company bands guys together, and some are more successful than others. Oddly, some great stables don't get the credit they deserve from fans. Despite having some success with titles and often boasting top workers and stars, they're rarely in the conversation with the best stables ever. Welcome to Honor Wrestling Club, and here are the 10 wrestling stables who deserve more love. Welcome to the club. In number 10, we have the Right to Censor, who shouldn't be erased, as they were surprisingly hot heels. WWE is known for creating angles based on the personal likes and dislikes of Vince McMahon. When various advocate groups decried the Attitude Era, WWE created the Right to Censor, a parody of those groups. Stevie Richards led Val Venus, The Godfather, Bull Buchanan, and Ivory in white shirts and black trousers, acting straight-laced and denouncing the horrible violence and adult content. It seemed dumb, but the way Richards committed to the act made it work. The group enjoyed surprising levels of success with the tag titles and Ivory as the women's champion. They got serious heat from fans who enjoyed seeing them get a comeuppance, and one of the better heel factions of its era. And that theme song is really annoying. In number 9 we have Fortune, which was a better TNA faction. And they were the best TNA homegrown stars, turns out. TNA has gone overboard with packs of heels trying to take over their company ideas. Immortal, Aces and Eights, to name a couple. However, one of their better factions in the early 2010s was Fortune. It helped that it boasted some of the best guys in TNA, such as AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels, Bobby Roode, James Storm, and Frankie Kazarian, with Desmond Wolfe and Douglas Williams briefly involved too. At first they were managed by Ric Flair, and then they formed an alliance with Immortal. Thankfully, after turning on Immortal, the team got much better. They were soon defending TNA against the older Immortal wrestlers, and some crazy battles happened. Beer Money had a record run as tag team champions, with Styles, Williams and Kazarian all holding gold too. The star power alone made this a top TNA faction that deserved more respect. In number 8 we have Team Angle, that really should have lasted longer, and Kurt Angle was a great guy to be leading a group. It was a genius idea. Kurt Angle, already over as one of the biggest stars in WWE, was still nursing neck surgery, decided to form a pack of guys based on athletic ability more than star power. Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas instantly click as a team, backing Angle up while also having few reigns as the tag team champions. The trio was good together, with Angle a natural leader and Benjamin and Haas doing really well too. They were really hitting their stride when WWE foolishly broke them up. Yet for that short time, Team Angle was the hottest stable around. They could have gone even further. In number 7 we have the first family, which was Jimmy Hart's Army, and they were a solid foundation. Many will think of Jimmy Hart for his time in WWE, but the Mouth of the South got his break in the Memphis area as a heel manager. His main target was the top star Jerry Lawler, and if you were a heel in the Memphis territory, sooner or later Hart was going to enlist you in his crusade. That included the likes of King Kong Bundy, Rick Rude, the Midnight Express, Austin Idol, and many more. Hart even had Randy Savage on his side for a bit before Savage would end up joining Lawler. The most famous member was comedian Andy Kaufman, who engaged in an epic feud with the King. Hart had a version of this in WCW in the late 90s, yet this family was much better than his later WWE guys. In number 6 we have La Familia, which was Edge's best stable, and it got great heat. For one of WWE's best ever heels, Edge didn't really spend all that much time in stables. A notable exception, however, was La Familia, which was a pretty good pack for him. During his marriage to Vicky Guerrero, Edge got Chavo on his side, and he then added the Edgeheads Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder, and then got Bam Neely added on. No one's scarier than Bam Neely. Edge dominated as world champion, while Hawkins and Ryder got the tag titles, and Chavo, the ECW champion, yeah, way to go Chavo. In a rarity for the time, they showed up on all three brands and some memorable feuds. Edge was in stellar form, with Vicky perfectly matching him, and the group was a great force. It's Edge's best time in any stable, and the best success Hawkins and Ryder could enjoy as heels. And to be fair, probably their whole career in WWE. In number 5 we have Generation Next, which was a top ROH stable, and Austin Aries got massively boosted by this. Formed in 2004, Generation Next was one of ROH's first major heel factions, and also one of the best. Originally, Alex Shelley was the leader with Austin Aries, Roderick Strong and Jack Evans at his side. It wasn't long though before Aries led a coup to kick Shelley out, with Matt Sydal being added. This new force took it hard to the ROH roster in various tag matches. Aries was the ROH World Champion while also holding the tag team titles with Strong. The team was a tight unit that did great until disbanding in 2006. Aries, Shelley and Strong had a brief reunion in TNA, yet their ROH work was the big break for all three men that gave them a nice boost in the business. In number 4, we have Team Canada that was better in TNA, because at least they were all Canadians this time. WCW had a Team Canada led by Lance Storm, which was fun. Oddly, TNA's version was far more successful but much less known. It helped that unlike WCW, all the team members who were actually Canadian. Their high point was late 2004 to early 2005, with P.T. Williams as X Division champion, with Bobby Roode and Eric Young were the NWA Tag Team Champions. Johnny Devine and A1 also helped out the team, as they feuded with America's Most Wanted and other faces. They would ally with Jeff Jarrett before they went their separate ways, and Roode and Young also became solo stars, proved that this team had goods for one of the best Canadian stables around. In number 3, we have the Stud Stable, which brightened WCW, as they were quite a fun group. Ron IV had created the Stud Stable in Memphis before Brother Robert built them up into a tougher force in Continental. In 1994, Ford became Colonel Robert Parker in WCW and tried to reform an even better version of the stable. With the always awesome Terry Funk leading the way, the stable included Bunkhouse Buck, Dick Slater, Meng and Arn Anderson. What a tough group of lads that is. They had a great feud with Dusty and Dustin Rhodes, which included a delightful War Games match, and Buck and Slater held the tag team titles. The group had some wonderful promos and great feuds to mark a better stable than they were credited for. In number 2, we have Devastation Inc., and they were a monster tag team. Akbar's army was a world-class affair. When it comes to the best heels in world-class championship wrestling, the Fabulous Freebirds are the best pick. But in terms of longevity and impact, General Skandor Akbar and his army were better. Also known as Devastation Inc., Akbar's pack included Abdullah the Butcher, Kamala, The Missing Link, the Super D's, King Kong Bundy and Al Perez among others. Akbar was always there to help his charger with a fireball and great promos. He led the group in battling the Von Erichs, and in a 1989 angle against Eric Embry paved the way for WCCW to become the USWA. Underrated among heel managers, Akbar's force was one of the best in world-class championship wrestling. And number 1, we have the Dangerous Alliance, who dominated WCW and really did live up to their name. In between the times of the Four Horsemen of the 80s and the NWO of the late 90s, WCW had another dominant faction. Formed in late 1991, the Dangerous Alliance took its namesake from manager Paul E. Dangerously, or as kids today will know it, Paul Heyman, who built up a fantastic stable of heels, including Rick Rude, Arn Anderson, Bobby Eaton, Larry Zbyszko, Medusa, and a little known guy called Steve Austin. Now, I'm not really too sure what happened to him. The group was a fantastic unit, holding several titles and engaging in wars with every face in WCW. They were the centrepiece of what was considered the greatest War Games match of all time, and it gave Austin his big break to fame. While they didn't last as long as they should have, the Alliance was the best heel faction of their time and should be remembered better by fans. That's all folks, so what do you think? Which wrestling stable doesn't get enough love in your opinion? Let us know in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and click the subscribe button if you are new around here. That's all for now, so to thank you for watching, and we'll see you later. Welcome to the club.